They had fame, fortune, and millions of fans. But behind the glamour, a darker story was unfolding. From beloved child stars to Hollywood legends, these celebrities lost everything. Money, careers, even a place to call home. Some fell victim to addiction, others to heartbreak and bad choices. Their shocking journeys prove that fame can disappear faster than anyone imagines. Let's uncover the tragic, surprising, and sometimes unbelievable stories of stars who hit rock bottom. Number 1. Mindy McCready. In the mid-1990s, Mindy McCready looked like country music's next unstoppable superstar. With a powerful voice, chart-topping hits like Guys Do It All the Time and 10,000 Angels, and a magnetic stage presence, she quickly captured the hearts of fans across America. For a moment, it seemed as though she was living the dream every aspiring singer imagines. But behind the applause and flashing cameras, a very different story was unfolding. As her fame grew, so did the personal struggles that threatened to consume her. Battles with addiction, arrests, and highly publicized legal troubles began making headlines. Her personal life became increasingly turbulent, marked by painful relationships and emotional custody disputes involving her children. While fans were still listening to her songs, Mindy was fighting battles far more difficult than anything she had ever faced on stage. In a cruel twist, the woman who sang about hope and heartbreak was experiencing both in real life. Over the years, she attempted several comebacks and entered treatment programs determined to regain control of her life. But the road proved far steeper than anyone realized. One day, she was performing before thousands. The next, she was struggling just to find peace. Number 2. Lonnie Willison. There was a time when Lonnie Willison seemed to have the kind of life people dream about. A successful model, fitness enthusiast, and television personality, she moved through Hollywood's glamorous circles with ease. With magazine appearances, entertainment connections, and a lifestyle that looked picture-perfect from the outside, few could have imagined how dramatically her story would change. Then everything began to unravel. Following a highly publicized divorce and a series of personal struggles, Willison's life took a shocking turn. Financial hardship, emotional difficulties, and health challenges gradually pushed her further away from the world she once knew. By 2015, reports and photographs revealed a heartbreaking reality: Lonnie was living on the streets of Los Angeles. The images stunned fans. The woman who had once attended celebrity events was now carrying her belongings from place to place, trying to survive one day at a time. Hollywood often sells fairy tales, but this was the kind of story no one wanted to believe. What makes her journey especially tragic is how quickly circumstances can change. One moment you're surrounded by opportunity. The next, you're fighting battles that most people never see. Yet despite the hardship, Lonnie's story has sparked important conversations about homelessness, mental health, and the fragile nature of fame. Number 3. David Cassidy. In the 1970s, David Cassidy wasn't just a star, he was a phenomenon. As Keith Partridge on The Partridge Family, he became one of the biggest teen idols in the world. Fans screamed at concerts, magazines fought for his photo, and his hit songs topped charts across the globe. If popularity were a superpower, David Cassidy would have been an Avenger. But behind the dazzling smile and sold-out crowds, a different story was quietly taking shape. The pressure of constant fame began to take its toll. For years, Cassidy struggled with alcoholism, financial problems, and personal setbacks that slowly chipped away at the life he had built. The same celebrity status that brought him fortune also trapped him in expectations he found increasingly difficult to meet. As debts mounted and opportunities declined, his situation became more unstable. In one of the most shocking chapters of his life, Cassidy reportedly faced severe financial hardship and even periods where he was forced to rely on temporary housing after losing much of what he once owned. For fans who remembered him as the golden boy of television, the fall was heartbreaking. One moment he was performing before thousands of cheering fans. The next he was fighting to regain control of his life. Yet through all the setbacks, Cassidy never completely lost the determination that had made him a star in the first place. Number 4. MC Hammer. There was a time when MC Hammer seemed unstoppable. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, he wasn't just a rapper, he was a cultural phenomenon. With chart-topping hits like You Can't Touch This sold-out tours and those unforgettable oversized Hammer pants, he became one of the most recognizable entertainers on the planet. Money poured in at an astonishing rate. At his peak, Hammer was earning tens of millions of dollars a year. It looked like the good times would last forever. But behind the scenes, a financial disaster was quietly taking shape. Hammer spent lavishly on luxury cars, mansions, private jets, and an enormous entourage that reportedly numbered in the hundreds. It was as if every day was a victory parade, and unfortunately, someone had forgotten to check the bank account. As expenses spiraled out of control, lawsuits, tax problems, and mounting debts followed. Then came the shocking moment nobody expected. One of the richest stars in music filed for bankruptcy, revealing debts of more than $10 million. For many fans, the fall was almost unbelievable. The man who once symbolized success suddenly found himself fighting to recover financially. Yet unlike many celebrity downfall stories, Hammer refused to stay down. Instead of disappearing, he reinvented himself through business ventures, technology projects, and charitable work. His journey became less about losing millions and more about rebuilding from the ashes. Number 5. Willie Ames. In the late 1970s, Willie Ames seemed to be living every young actor's dream. As one of the breakout stars of 8 is Enough, he became a familiar face in millions of American homes. With fame, popularity, and a promising future ahead of him, Ames looked destined for a long and successful Hollywood career. From the outside, everything appeared perfect. But behind the smiles and television success, a much darker story was slowly unfolding. As the years passed and acting opportunities became less frequent, Ames struggled to cope with the pressures of fading fame. He turned to drugs and alcohol, beginning a downward spiral that brought financial ruin, personal setbacks, and repeated brushes with disaster. The situation became so severe that he lost his home and eventually found himself homeless in Canada. For a man who had once enjoyed the perks of television stardom, the fall was almost unimaginable. Yet what makes Willie Ames stand out isn't how far he fell, it's how far he climbed back. Refusing to surrender, he sought help through shelters and recovery programs, gradually rebuilding his life one step at a time. Along the way, he began helping others facing the same struggles, transforming his pain into purpose. His journey from television fame to homelessness and back again feels less like a celebrity story and more like a movie script Hollywood would probably reject for being too unbelievable. Number 6. Margot Kidder. For millions of movie fans, Margot Kidder wasn't just an actress. She was Lois Lane, the fearless reporter who stole Superman's heart. With her charm, wit, and unforgettable screen presence, she became one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. At the height of her fame, it seemed she had everything: blockbuster success, international recognition, and a career most actors could only dream about. But behind the bright smile was a struggle few people truly understood. As the years passed, Kidder battled severe mental health challenges, including bipolar disorder, while facing growing financial difficulties. Then came a shocking turning point in 1996. Following a highly publicized mental health crisis, the woman who once walked red carpets suddenly found herself without stability, relying on friends, strangers, shelters, and even couches just to get through the day. Hollywood had given her the spotlight, but it couldn't protect her from life's harshest realities. Yet what makes Margot's story remarkable isn't the fall, it's the fight. Even after hitting rock bottom, she refused to disappear. She continued acting, speaking openly about mental health, and inspiring countless people with her honesty and resilience. In a strange twist worthy of a Hollywood script, the woman who once helped Superman save the world ended up teaching others how to survive their own battles. Number 7. John Michael Vincent. There was a time when John Michael Vincent looked like the perfect Hollywood leading man. With rugged good looks, natural charisma, and a string of successful films and television roles, he seemed destined to stay on top forever. Audiences loved him, studios wanted him, and his future looked brighter than a California summer. But as Hollywood has proven time and time again, fame can be one of the most fragile things in the world. Behind the scenes, Vincent was fighting battles that no camera could capture. Substance abuse, legal troubles, and personal struggles slowly began to overshadow his talent. As opportunities disappeared and financial problems mounted, the actor who once shared the screen with major stars found himself facing a reality few could have imagined. By the early 2000s, reports revealed that Vincent had fallen into homelessness, struggling to survive on the streets of California. For fans who remembered the handsome star of decades earlier, the contrast was almost unbelievable. The downward spiral didn't stop there. Years of hardship took a serious toll on his health, eventually leading to severe medical complications and the loss of part of his leg. It sounds like the plot of a tragic Hollywood drama, except this one was painfully real. Yet despite everything, Vincent continued searching for help and trying to move forward. Number 8. Erin Moran. For an entire generation of television fans, Erin Moran was the girl next door everyone adored. As Joni Cunningham on Happy Days, she grew up in front of millions of viewers, turning her bright smile and energetic personality into television gold. At the height of the show's popularity, it looked as if Erin had secured a lifetime pass to Hollywood success. But as many child stars discover, growing up can be far more difficult when the whole world is watching. When the cameras stopped rolling, the opportunities slowly began to fade. Roles became scarce, financial problems piled up, and the fame that once opened every door suddenly seemed to disappear. In one of the most shocking turns of her life, Moran reportedly faced homelessness and housing instability after years of financial struggles. It's a cruel irony: one day you're starring on one of America's biggest sitcoms, and the next you're wondering where you'll sleep. As the years passed, Erin battled additional personal hardships, including a difficult divorce and struggles with alcohol. Yet fans never forgot the lovable Joni they grew up with. Her story became a heartbreaking reminder that fame can be temporary while life's challenges are very real. When Moran passed away in 2017, many people weren't just mourning an actress, they were saying goodbye to a piece of their childhood. Number 9. Leif Garrett. In the late 1970s, Leif Garrett was the kind of teen idol who could cause absolute chaos just by walking into a room. With movie star looks, hit songs, and legions of screaming fans, he seemed destined for a lifetime of success. His posters covered bedroom walls across America, and for a while it looked like the party would never end. But as history has shown, fame often comes with a hidden price tag. Behind the bright lights and magazine covers, Garrett was fighting a growing battle with drug addiction. What began as youthful excess slowly spiraled into a devastating cycle of legal troubles, financial instability, and career setbacks. The same celebrity lifestyle that once made him famous eventually became one of his greatest obstacles. As opportunities disappeared and money ran out, Garrett reportedly endured periods of homelessness, a shocking fall for someone who had once been one of America's biggest heartthrobs. The contrast was almost unbelievable. One decade fans were chasing him for autographs. The next, he was struggling to rebuild a life that had unraveled piece by piece. There is a tragic irony in it all. Millions of teenagers wanted to be Leif Garrett, while Garrett himself was desperately trying to escape the consequences of his own fame. Yet through years of setbacks, he continued searching for stability and a second chance. Number 10. Dana Plato. Few child stars seem to have a brighter future than Dana Plato. As Kimberly Drummond on the hit sitcom Different Strokes, she became one of the most recognizable faces on television. Week after week, millions of Americans welcomed her into their living rooms, and it appeared she had everything a young actress could want: fame, success, and a promising career stretching far into the future. But when the cameras stopped rolling, reality proved far less forgiving. Struggling to transition into adult roles, Dana found herself trapped between the image of a beloved child star and an industry that had moved on. Career opportunities became scarce, financial problems mounted, and personal struggles began to take center stage. Her battle with substance abuse led to legal troubles and periods of homelessness, creating a heartbreaking contrast to the cheerful character audiences remembered. As the years passed, Dana tried repeatedly to rebuild her life, but the obstacles seemed to grow larger with every step forward. Fans watched in disbelief as headlines replaced sitcom reruns, and the young star, who once made people smile, became the subject of concern and sympathy. Tragically, her life ended far too soon in 1999, shocking those who had grown up watching her. Behind every famous face is a story few people ever see. These celebrities had fame and fortune, yet many still faced heartbreaking struggles. Which story shocked you most? Comment A for Margot Kidder, B for Marvin Gaye, or C for Todd Bridges. Number 11. John Drew Barrymore. Born into one of Hollywood's most legendary families, John Drew Barrymore seemed destined for greatness. As a member of the famous Barrymore dynasty, acting success was practically written into his DNA. With a recognizable name, undeniable charisma, and opportunities most aspiring actors could only dream about, he appeared to have every advantage imaginable. Despite landing roles in films and television, John struggled to establish an identity separate from the enormous reputation of the Barrymore name. Behind the scenes, he battled addiction, personal turmoil, and a series of legal troubles that repeatedly disrupted both his career and personal life. While Hollywood often celebrates family legacies, John discovered the darker side of inherited fame. Expectations followed him everywhere, and the pressure to live up to generations of acting royalty became a challenge he never fully escaped. As the years passed, the struggles gradually overshadowed his professional achievements. His career never reached the heights many expected, and his life became increasingly defined by personal battles rather than screen success. Yet his story remains fascinating because it reveals a truth Hollywood rarely talks about. Privilege doesn't guarantee happiness, and a famous surname doesn't protect anyone from making painful mistakes. When John Drew Barrymore passed away in 2004, he left behind a complicated legacy, one marked by talent, missed opportunities, and hard lessons. Number 12. Danny Bonaduce. In the 1970s, Danny Bonaduce became a household name as the wisecracking Danny Partridge on The Partridge Family. With his fiery personality, quick humor, and unmistakable red hair, he stood out in one of television's most beloved shows. Fame arrived early, and for a while it seemed like life couldn't get much better. But once childhood stardom faded, reality hit hard. Bonadou struggled with addiction, financial problems, and a series of personal setbacks that pushed him dangerously close to losing everything. At one point, the former TV star reportedly faced homelessness and bankruptcy, a shocking fall for someone who had once been one of America's favorite child actors. It's one of Hollywood's strangest twists. Millions of people knew his name, yet success couldn't guarantee stability. Unlike many tragic celebrity stories, however, Danny refused to stay down. Through determination, recovery, and a willingness to reinvent himself, he gradually rebuilt his life. He found success in radio television appearances and by openly discussing his struggles. His story is proof that rock bottom doesn't always have to be the end of the story. Sometimes it's just the place where the comeback begins. Number 13. Amanda Peterson. In 1987, Amanda Peterson became every teenager's dream girl after starring as Cindy Mancini in the hit romantic comedy Can't Buy Me Love. With her beauty, charm, and effortless screen presence, she quickly rose to fame and seemed destined for a long Hollywood career. For a brief moment, Amanda had everything young stars hope for: recognition, opportunity, and a future filled with promise. But behind the glamorous image, life was becoming far more complicated. As the years passed, Amanda struggled with personal challenges, including substance abuse and mental health difficulties, that gradually pulled her away from the spotlight. The actress who once captivated audiences on the big screen found herself battling problems that no amount of fame could solve. While fans remembered the confident cheerleader who stole hearts, the real Amanda was fighting a much tougher story behind closed doors. Her withdrawal from Hollywood only deepened the mystery surrounding her life. Opportunities faded, financial pressures mounted, and the bright future many expected never fully materialized. In a heartbreaking twist, Amanda's life came to a tragic end in 2015, leaving fans shocked and saddened. Number 14. Corey Haim. During the 1980s, Corey Haim was one of Hollywood's brightest young stars. With memorable performances in films like The Lost Boys, Lucas, and License to Drive, he became a teen idol almost overnight. Fans adored his charm. Movie studios lined up to cast him, and it seemed as if the future belonged entirely to him. For a while, Corey was living the kind of dream most aspiring actors never get close to touching. But behind the fame, a much darker story was unfolding. Success arrived early, bringing pressure, temptation, and a lifestyle that proved difficult to escape. As the years passed, Haim struggled with substance abuse, a battle that gradually affected his health, finances, and career opportunities. The actor, who once appeared on movie posters across America, found himself fighting personal demons that no box office success could defeat. In Hollywood, they say fame can be addictive. For Corey, unfortunately, addiction became even more powerful than fame itself. Despite repeated attempts to revive his career and regain stability, the challenges continued to follow him. Fans watched with sadness as one of their favorite childhood stars drifted further from the spotlight that had once celebrated him. In 2010, Corey Haim's life came to a tragic end, leaving behind a legacy filled with both extraordinary talent and heartbreaking what-ifs. Number 15. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's story is different from most names on this list. Unlike many celebrities who lost everything after reaching fame, Carrey experienced hardship long before Hollywood made him a superstar. Growing up in a struggling family in Canada, there were times when financial difficulties became so severe that his family reportedly lived out of a van while trying to get back on their feet. Long before the red carpets and blockbuster paychecks, life was already teaching him some difficult lessons. Then came one of the greatest success stories in entertainment history. With films like Ace Ventura: The Mask and Dumb and Dumber Carrie, became one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. His energy, facial expressions, and larger-than-life comedy made audiences laugh around the world. It seemed as though he had escaped every hardship forever. But as many celebrities discover, wealth and fame don't automatically create happiness. Behind the laughter, Carrie faced personal struggles, including public battles with depression and emotional challenges that forced him to reevaluate his life. In a strange irony, the man who made millions laugh spent years searching for his own peace of mind. Rather than chasing endless fame, he gradually stepped back from the spotlight and focused on art, personal growth, and mental well-being. Number 16. Natasha Lyonne. Today, Natasha Lyonne is celebrated as one of Hollywood's most distinctive and respected actresses. With acclaimed performances in Orange is the New Black and Russian Doll, she appears confident, successful, and completely in control. But long before the awards, the red carpets, and the career resurgence, Lyonne was fighting a battle that nearly destroyed everything. As a child actress, she entered the entertainment industry at a young age and quickly gained attention for her talent. Yet fame came with pressures she wasn't prepared for. During her teenage years and early adulthood, Lyonne struggled with substance abuse, personal turmoil, and a series of legal troubles. Her life spiraled so dramatically that she reportedly lost her home and found herself facing periods of homelessness in New York City. It's hard to imagine now, but the actress who would later earn critical acclaim was once struggling simply to find stability. What makes Natasha's story remarkable is not the fall, it's the comeback. Instead of allowing her darkest moments to define her, she sought help, entered recovery, and slowly rebuilt her life from the ground up. Small acting roles led to bigger opportunities, and eventually she returned stronger than ever. There's a certain irony in it, all the industry that once watched her stumble later applauded her return. Number 17. Marvin Gaye. Few voices in music history were as smooth, powerful, and unforgettable as Marvin Gaye's. With timeless classics like What's Going On and Sexual Healing, he became one of the defining artists of the Motown era. His songs spoke of love, pain, and hope, earning him millions of fans around the world. To the public, Marvin seemed larger than life, a musical genius whose career would remain untouchable forever. But behind the legendary voice was a man struggling with battles that fame couldn't solve. As his success grew, so did his personal troubles. Financial problems, substance abuse, legal disputes, and family conflicts gradually began to overshadow his extraordinary talent. At various points, mounting debts and instability forced him into difficult living situations as he attempted to escape both financial pressure and personal turmoil. As the years passed, Marvin's world became increasingly complicated. Relationships deteriorated, stress intensified, and the weight of fame seemed heavier than ever. Then came the heartbreaking ending that shocked the world. In 1984, just one day before his birthday, an argument inside his family home turned tragic, bringing an abrupt end to one of music's greatest careers. Yet despite the turmoil that surrounded his final years, Marvin Gaye's legacy remains untouchable. Number 18. Lisa Robin Kelly. For many television fans, Lisa Robin Kelly will always be remembered as Lori Foreman, the sharp-tongued and mischievous older sister on that 70s show. With her quick wit, natural comedic timing, and memorable screen presence, she became one of the standout characters on one of television's most popular sitcoms. At the height of the show's success, Lisa seemed poised for a long and rewarding Hollywood career. But away from the cameras, her life was becoming increasingly complicated. Personal struggles and addiction began taking a devastating toll on both her career and personal well-being. As legal troubles mounted, including multiple arrests, opportunities in Hollywood started to disappear. The actress who once made audiences laugh every week found herself trapped in a cycle of setbacks that became harder and harder to escape. As her difficulties intensified, Lisa's career steadily faded from the spotlight. Fans who remembered the confident and rebellious Lori Foreman were shocked to see headlines dominated by personal troubles rather than acting achievements. Despite attempts to regain control of her life, the challenges continued to grow. In 2013, her story came to a heartbreaking end, leaving fans saddened by the loss of a talented actress whose potential seemed limitless. Their journeys remind us that success doesn't guarantee happiness. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments section of the next part.